AGN would like to thank our sponsor, Wirecast. Wirecast software lets you produce professional-looking live events with just a camera, an internet connection, and a computer. Stream or record live internet shows, broadcast breaking news or sporting events, stream live concerts, transmit church services, corporate meetings, lectures, and much more. Wirecast, your webcasting presentation solution.
Welcome to Auraxis Global Network, the premier voice of objective reporting, covering the events that affect your world, your life, and your PlanetSide 2 news and information. We cover what it means to be a PlanetSide 2 fan. You love the game, you will love the AGN. We are your #1 source of all things PlanetSide 2, featuring spot-on and up-to-date updates. Yes, we said up-to-date updates that will promise to whet your appetite for PlanetSide 2 news. Will you find cutting-edge information as well as breaking news screenshots on AGN? Does a pole dancer have thighs that can crush your head? Yes. And now, introducing your distinguished hosts, your friends and fellow PlanetSide 2 groupies, Hamma and Marsman.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome here to the Auraxis Global Network. I am Hamma. I'm joined here by Marsman.
Good evening, everybody.
And we've got a action-packed night here for you. We've got tons to talk about. We actually had trouble figuring out where we could even begin tonight. So
Yes.
that gives you an idea of how much stuff we have to talk about with GDC this past week.
It has been quite a month, indeed, yes.
Yes, it has. So I'm going to go ahead and go around the room here. Actually, I'll just go ahead and bring her into the screen right now. We also have Jenny Boo here with us.
Hi, guys.
She'll be joining us again here for the show tonight.
Just wanted to shout out, not belated, but happy birthday to Hamma. His birthday was yesterday.
Happy birthday, Hammer.
Thank you very much. But so we're going to go ahead and we're going to kind of jump right into some interesting little forum stats that we have. As you guys know, obviously, if you're watching this, you're likely have been watching PlanetSide Universe the past week or so.
And it's been crazy.
And it's been very busy. The forums have been busy, so I kind of went and pulled some stats from last Sunday, just to kind of give you an idea of how busy it's been. I don't have anything to compare it to, but I know that it's been busy enough that it's above average. So since last Sunday, we've had an average of 420 people, registered people, on the forums each day. That's an average. We had a spike of over 514 on one day, active users in one day. We've had an average of 15 new folks joining the community and registering on the forums a day.
Always nice to have.
Yes, and we've had some folks. There's some folks in particular who don't like this stat, but we've had an average of 39 new threads created a day since last Sunday.
Yeah, that's been obvious.
Yeah.
Any of us that have been trying to keep up on the forums have.
It's impossible.
Oh,
I spent all
crazy.
afternoon catching up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been insane. And then we've had an average of 1,015 posts a day. So that's also pretty high. We had a spike on Wednesday of 1,553 posts in one day on the forum. So
That's a lot of posting. You guys are busy out there, I'll tell you that.
That's a lot of activity. Actually,
That's a lot of opinions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speculation.
You're right.
Actually, we've had 439.333333 active users a day. I'm not sure who the 0.33 is, but it happens. And we also broke our record for online users at once at 289 folks browsing the forums at the same time.
And that's a record that stood since 2007, where we had 427.
Yep.
So we blew that completely out of the water.
Yep, we blew all the records out of the water this past week, and our traffic is we even broke our, now this is just registered users we're talking about now. It doesn't have anything to do with our overall site stats. Our overall site stats we totally blew out of the water last year. We blew out of the water Fanfare by about half. In overall traffic. And Fanfare last year was a huge spike for us, as you guys know. A lot happened there, but GDC was an even larger spike. So folks are interested in PlanetSide 2, and they're joining the community on a regular basis. And
hopefully that's a gauge to see how things are going. I mean, we've seen this big spike at Fanfare. Now we see another big spike at GDC. We hope that this is going to continue and
definitely
and continue to grow and draw in new people. We like to see it. So.
For sure. It's been an awesome week, and looking forward to many more.
And it's because of all of you that we're,
That's right.
Ham is so focused on this website. So
to a fault almost.
yeah.
Well, thanks to the community for all of your participation, all of your interest, and all of your forum threads.
Yes, indeed. And extra special thanks to the devs. I didn't look at how many active devs we had on the forums during the day. We don't really have a stat to track that, but I always see at least 4 to 5 devs that are, almost daily that are on the forums, kind of reading our posts. So,
if you want to see how active they are, just hit that VIP tracker at the top, and it's going to show you all the dev posts. And they are active; they are on the forums. So
for sure,
and we appreciate that. I mean, that's their interest in us. We can't thank them enough.
For sure, and. It's been great, and we've only... I should have pulled some stats on infractions for users as well.
Maybe we'll have that for next show.
Maybe we'll do that next time. Yeah. But actually, our forums are pretty tame most of the time. We don't have a whole lot of... we don't really have a whole lot of people to get in trouble, and I haven't banned anybody in a while, and that's unusual for me. So things are going pretty well.
Yeah, you guys take care of that pretty well. Usually, if somebody is out of line, you guys let them know pretty fast. So
and usually they all work it out between themselves.
That's right.
So
yeah,
that's very appreciated as well.
Just one big happy family.
Yes, we appreciate it. The community is a great community. I've always been proud to be a part of it, and that continues. So
indeed.
All right, we're going to go ahead and jump into some introductions of folks, and we have another live guest here with us tonight. He hasn't been on the show in a little while, but he has made a return. We've got Manny here on the show with us tonight.
Manny, say hello.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's good to be back. I took a little bit of a hiatus there, but glad to be back. Looking forward to this show tonight, and really proud of what the PSU crew has done and all the work that they've done to do that. And I'm just absolutely stoked for this game. Pretty crazy stuff going on. I really enjoyed the videos, so appreciate everybody showing the Matt and those guys there, the devs, showing the videos, opening up that stuff. Boy, that's been some good stuff. So it's good to be here.
Good to have you, Manny.
Indeed, and we've got our usual group of community folks on TeamSpeak as well.
Rounded up the usual suspects.
Yeah, we've got mostly the same folks, but I have no complaints about that. It's a great crew that's been joining us, and we have some great discussions. So we'll just continue that trend. But first of all, man, one of these times I just need to throw Basti off by not introducing him first. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to introduce Basti first to the show. Basti.
No, seriously, AVP is first in the channel. I need to stop, really.
Well, anyway, everybody just expects you to be first, Basti. So
yeah, I know, just the coolest guy first always.
I wouldn't feel comfortable.
Yeah, Basti, PlanetSide veteran since 2004, playing on and off with Vanu Corp mostly, and a bit of with GOTR and AT from Gemini.
Don't forget to shout out to your man T-Ray. He's always talking about Basti.
He is, yeah, he is.
I'm sure he probably is listening.
Yeah, man, he's my man. He's my Vanu bro. The most awesome dude ever.
We all love T-Ray.
And next up we have Captain Insaneo joining us again.
What the heck? I'm third. What's going on here?
I have
what
a different.
AWP?
We operate off of a different list.
All right, fine. We'll ignore AWP. He's not here. We'll just throw.
Oh,
him
he's
away.
here.
Oh, we'll come back to him.
We're coming to him.
No, he's not there. It's a figment of your imagination.
All right, sorry.
Save the best for last.
All right, it's good to be back with you guys. I'm Captain Insaneo. I'm former of the Final Stand SJ, and I did some of the reporting from GDC and had a really great time out with the devs there. And big thanks to them for putting the community get together out on. That was fantastic. And whoever picked up the tab is freaking godlike.
All right, next up we have Graywolves.
What's good, everyone? I'm Graywolves. I play Terran Republic. I've been playing PlanetSide since around 04, and I've rolled with Dark Skies ever since. And right now for PlanetSide 2, I'm just very active in the community and have 2 YouTube videos up right now under PS Graywolves, and that's about all there is with me.
All right. Thanks for coming aboard.
Always great to be here.
And next up we have AWP.
Hello, I'm AWP. I've been playing since beta. I'm on the Terran Republic. I used to play on Conread, and I was in the outfit The Tremors.
Welcome, AWP.
Indeed. And last up, we have Tigerbot.
Hey, so never done this before, but I'm in the I've been playing NC since 2004, I believe. And right now I'm one of the moderators over at the PlanetSide subreddit, and I did the PlanetSide subreddit interview with Higby and T-Ray at GDC this last week.
Good to have you aboard, Doug.
Yes, definitely. Thanks for being here.
So that was why Hamma's phone was going off like crazy.
Yes. So I guess we'll start with you, Captain and Tigerbot. Just talk a little bit about the GDC thing. What was your experience? You guys have a good time out there?
Well, first off, they said the event started at 8, but I got there over half hour early, and they were all there having dining, and people were beating me to the punch. So, yeah. That besides that little kerfuffle, the devs were freaking great. Basically had lunch, and by the time we got around the interview, I'd already worn my voice out talking about stories from the old days.
Nice.
Yeah, there were like I think probably 6 or 7 devs there, and they were all like awesome. We sat around and talked for about an hour and a half and did the interviews, and those interviews took a long time. Like, I really want to say thanks to Higby because I think we took like an hour and a half of his time interviewing him, us and you guys together.
It was more than that. it was really, really long. I know I didn't get out there till past 11.
You are thanking him. He is listening right now and in the AGN channel, so he hears you.
He's in IRC as well, so.
Yep.
But yeah, I've had the opportunity to meet those guys as well, and they're a lot of fun to hang around with, and they're awesome with the community. They take a lot of time to sit down and talk to you about it. So
right, and that's after working with all the regular press too. I mean, they did interviews with all those guys, and yeah, I'm sure they were all pretty tired, but yet they still took the time to go out and meet the community and talk to them too.
I think that's been the best part of it's not only PlanetSide 2. To me, PlanetSide 2 is awesome, but it's the developers that are making
Yes,
this
they're
the
taking
best.
this over the top. They really are, because I mean they're as much a part of the community as all the regular community members to me. I mean they're communicating, they're talking, and yeah, we just love having that level of connectivity with them.
No complaints.
Yes, indeed. All right.
Yeah, I actually had the opportunity to. Their PR head came over and started talking to us, and I actually got to talk to her about. I know a lot of people have complaints about SOE. Basically, explained that how open. Like we were asked if whether or not their talking to the devs being constantly available to us was a good thing. We were able to talk to them about how people have bad experience with SOE and how open they've been. Like this is what I've heard from people I've been around. How open the devs and accessible devs have actually given them hope despite their past experiences with the company, and it's a fantastic thing for them.
Definitely, yes. I mean, you can see what kind of value-added thing it adds to the community to be able to have that level of connectedness and to be, made us feel like we're a part of the whole development process as well, and to just be able to, ask these questions, get answers. It's really fantastic, and
it's a step in the right direction.
It certainly is. I mean, I've never ever. I thought we had some pretty good connections before in the original PlanetSide days, but this is just unprecedented in the level of involvement that the devs have. I mean, the whole team really takes an interest in the community and posting on the forums, posting on Twitter, and we all just love it, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's been an awesome experience so far, and it's only just the beginning. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be a great few years for sure. Hopefully many, many years to come, actually. But all right. So let's go ahead and let's get started on the, this is going to be a little bit open tonight, just simply because we have so much to talk about that it was hard to set a topic list.
We don't have the screenshots and all the information we've had.
Yeah.
And the video. And
yeah, all of it.
I mean, I could talk all night about just the video.
Oh, yes. And I think probably we will.
That's why we only have a few topic points, because we just know they're all going to meld together.
Right.
For sure.
But yeah, that's just been a ton of information. We've really been bombarded over this last month. 'Cause we didn't have a show last month, and boy, with all the stuff that happened since the last show, plus this video,
Yep.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's been just totally crazy. So I guess we'll get started, and I guess let's just get started by seeing what your impressions are. Like, how did you guys feel about what you saw? Obviously, you kind of revealed some of it on the forums, but how did you feel about what you saw in the video and the demo and stuff, and what you heard in the past 4 or 5 days?
I might as well go first. We were talking a little bit about this before in the green room, but there was a little bit of a complaint that some of us were noting, and that was in the level designs. And it really feels like these aren't level. What Higby specifically said, we're taking lessons from other FPS and incorporating their base designs. That's great. The problem most of those lessons are coming from is from small launch skirmishes, where you're probably dealing with 20 people at most in small confined areas. And I think some of their well thought out plans of mice and men are really going to turn out to be quite not as good as they hoped once a lot of people start flooding those canyons. In the demo video, I was like, wow, a Reaper's just going to tear that area up, or if I can shell that with tanks or anything, that's going to become a death trap.
I think that's the point.
And
I mean,
I think they'll tweak with that a little bit. So
I mean, look at history. Whoever generals, leaders, or whatever led their army through a fucking canyon camped by the enemy was the fool. So use those canyons to die. It's fine.
and there's more stuff going to be going on in the new PlanetSide 2 with the resources itself. There's still going to be bottleneck areas, I think, but not nearly as much as in PlanetSide 1.
Well, certainly the terrain has been designed to be, a little bit more restrictive. There's obviously places where, vehicle play is going to be important, and places where vehicles are not going to really be able to get to, at least ground vehicles, and you might have to resort to air vehicles. I mean, it looks like they've done a pretty good job of mixing the terrain up so that you've got a variety of different battle scenarios.
Well, I was going to say something about that as well. I think with the terrain, you attach importance to an area, where the terrain is leading. So I think that's what they're aiming to do. They're not just going to throw a valley in the middle of nowhere and it's not going to be used because nobody will ever go there. So basically, I think maybe and that's what I was seeing with that, is it looks like they're attaching terrain entrance or terrain challenging areas with some kind of importance. So then you have to fight through that terrain to get to that important, whatever it may be, resource, base, tower, whatever you're trying to get to. So that's going to cause you to have to go into those things. Now, you can look at a valley as being a death trap, but you can also look at a valley as being a place to stop a moving, bunch of people or whatever and cause them to go to the air or whatever. So I think there's going to be some exciting stuff with those type of terrain options.
And they also said that they were going to use more of the maps. Like PlanetSide 1, there was parts of the maps were never used. So they're really, I think that's what they're focusing on is every bit of the map at some point, some situation is going to be used.
Yeah, there were places there was just never any need to go to, and now with the outposts and the resource system, there's reasons to go fight in these areas. So, yes, we'll see a lot of that utilized.
I'd actually argue against that, because if you look at the maps they had up there, there's going to be very, very few fights in areas directly next to the strongholds, the footholds. There's going to be very little fighting there because the battle lines are probably going to stay fairly static. They're pushed a few areas in, pushes areas out. Everyone's fighting a two-front war, and if you push too hard on one side, you're going to lose on the other front. And there are some territories you're going to see very little because of how close they are back to the back end.
Well, but
I think that's going to depend on population. Your population is going to dictate that. So if you have a lot of people playing, there may be different ways to do that, and it depends on how you manage your armies or your outfits. So as like say for TR, we have Ultra. Basically, we could say, well, we need you guys to go over here and feint here, and then we'll send a main column over here, and maybe we'll do some assault stuff over here. So it depends on the population, and I think the population is going to be big enough to handle the challenge that you just mentioned. I agree with you. You don't have the population in those places that people just avoid them, but I think with a big population, you're going to see some really thick fights there.
I think that we're going to have more dynamic battlefield scenarios going on this time around. However, I have to agree with Captain Insaneo about the static front lines, because if you look at Sicer side, like, the three empires are always there fighting, and we're always fighting over the same bases in there. So if everyone's fighting a two-front war, we're going to be mostly having a tug of war in the same areas, except for those nights where we have, like, Ultra, like, or like Goder and other people doing those like op nights and really pushing to grab territory.
I think to an extent. Oh, sorry. I think to an extent that'll happen. Okay, thanks. To an extent that'll happen, and over time you'll probably see like the patterns emerge in that. But I think with the added resources and the how like adjacent territories speed up capture times, I think that'll really change a lot of those front lines a lot more than the original PlanetSide had.
The important thing really are just the territories and the choke points, the terrain choke points. In PlanetSide, all we had were bases, and what you did as a CF5 was people go to this base. There was never any attempt to lead your guys while doing battling in the field. You just told them go there. How they did that, whatever, because you only had those few bases you could attack. In PlanetSide 2, you have a whole front line of territories you can attack at the same time. A whole lot of choke points apparently, with those canyons for example, that you could use to defend or to attack, or you could fully ignore, or maybe use to your advantage, use for your attack, like having the Zerg fighting at that choke point, trying to distract the enemy while having some other people going around the choke point and attacking from behind. I mean, the tactical possibilities of PlanetSide 2 are just a lot bigger than PlanetSide 1.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to see kind of what the resources do, because I feel like that's going to be the thing that's going to make all the battles dynamic. I think once we get a better insight on like what resources do, I feel like that, you know, resources are going to be valuable no matter what, so just seeing where people fight is generally what I'm excited to see.
Yeah, and that's something we really don't know an awful lot about yet. It's just how the whole resource system works, and you know what that's all going to entail. Hopefully, we'll get a little bit more information of that as time goes on.
Leave a little mystery. Maybe they're just leaving a little mystery for the sake. Keep us chomping at the bit.
Too, sorry, but honestly, too, they may not know. See, the devs, I mean, they're developing the game, obviously, and they're intimately familiar with it, but they don't know what it's going to be like when you throw thousands of people in there, or whatever, however many, you know, you have in a battle, because that's going to be something that's fluid. You're going to have, and there's no way to dictate, I mean, there's no way to foreshadow that, in a sense, or see how that's going to affect gameplay. You know, they can play with their 50s or so, whatever they have, but when you start throwing hundreds and hundreds of people in there, the game flow and the dynamics of the game are really going to be radically different. And we don't now, some of us PlanetSide veterans have experienced some of that, say like around an important base, as was mentioned before, an important tower or something like that. But resources is the wild card that was mentioned before. That's going to be the big thing that's going to change the dynamic of the game, because I don't know how to take that into account as far as what you have to do to maintain resources, how you have to farm them or mine them or whatever you got to do, and what you have to do to protect your mining equipment or whatever is going on there. So that's what I'm excited about. See how that plays into the whole picture of the game.
Wow, silence.
Silence. Awkward silence.
I'm sorry, did I do that?
I think everybody's mulling over and thinking about all of this.
Yeah. Everybody's, their brains are going, I think.
Yeah.
I'm paying attention to the chats, and I kind of get lost.
Yeah. It looks like there's a lot going on in there. I try and not look at that. There's so much happening. Jen's looking at that for me.
Do you have information on how many people a Galaxy carries?
12?
12.
Yeah, 12.
Yep.
What about the Sunderer? There's been speculated.
12.
I think they're both 12.
Is they both 12? Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
So you think about that. Think about what you're going to have to maintain to bring a large number of troops to battle. that's going to be an interesting dynamic as well. I was thinking about, if you're moving a bunch of troops. I remember we had issues with that before, but usually we did okay. But of course, you get the mesmerizing air, jet train as they going through the air like that. But I'm really curious how this is all going to work out.
I think you can clown car with the galaxies now.
Oh yeah.
You can shove more people than it's required in there.
Yeah, because of the spawn mechanics.
The Sunderer to me looks amazing. I think that it's going to play more of a dynamic role in the next game, just in my opinion. What do you guys think for the Sunderer?
Well, I definitely think so. Because you can, as I understand it, you can fire from the vehicle while you're moving. That'll allow a little bit more dynamic rather than just being a static ride from point A to point B. You can actually engage the enemy along the way. So, it'll make it a combat vehicle.
Like you can ram into people from what I was reading.
Yeah,
ram into tanks and...
Yes, yeah, and that's going to be an interesting aspect.
Armor, I should hope.
Right.
Or explosions with 12 people in it. It's going to be interesting. I'm actually kind of looking forward to that. So.
Yeah. Well, with the lack of some of the other transport vehicles, certainly the Sunderer is going to be one of the bigger.
Especially someone for me who can't fly.
Right.
I couldn't fly in PlanetSide 1. I am not flying in PlanetSide 2.
So speaking of explosions, I don't know if you guys picked up on this, that when they had Higbee he was driving the tank, the Vanguard, and you notice the dust flying when they were firing and then the explosions, and this is just early in the game development. Can you imagine what it's going to be like when you got all these tanks and things going on? It's just going to be crazy.
Yeah,
gaming's going to put you over the edge.
And they're not even sure if those were the final, because he said some of the explosions were just placeholders. They weren't finished picking them, but they were pretty awesome.
Yeah.
To see.
Yeah.
Yeah, So a lot of this stuff is just early. They're still going to work in tune stuff. One of the things that everybody screamed about, of course, was kill cams, and then Higbee came on and said, well, we almost didn't even put kill cams in the demo, and
it's not finalized.
No, and it turned out that they're not going to try to do live. What their plan was to do a statistic type kill cam where they're not actually revealing position, and that seemed to agree with a lot more people.
Yeah, I don't mind that idea, actually. I was really concerned with kill cams. What Higbee mentioned that is kind of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Acceptable.
It's acceptable, I guess. I still don't really like it that much. I still would prefer it. I would prefer none of that. I would prefer just,
But if you got to have them,
you
at
die
least
and you die, yeah.
That's at least the least offensive form of kill cam that I can think of.
Right.
What we saw in the demo, I didn't like, and apparently a lot of other people didn't like, because that was probably the common theme of dislikes that I saw. It was overwhelmingly positive. I was actually talking with Hammer as the show didn't start, and I was saying, as a community with all these different opinions and all these people, I was amazed at how well the video was in general perceived. Most everybody had something favorable to say about it. I really didn't see a single post where everybody said, I hate this from beginning to end. A few people had things that they didn't particularly care for, the kill cams being one of them. But, in general, it was probably as a positively received, demonstration as I'd seen for any game. And certainly a good success for the dev team. They've obviously done a great job. I think they blew their socks off the press, and they certainly have impressed the community. So hats off to them.
Yeah, I'm not sure on it. I'm not a fan of kill cams myself, but they did say that the flow of the game is going to be different than PlanetSide, because in PlanetSide 1, when you died, you knew it, and that was enough. You didn't need the kill cams.
Right.
Whereas they're saying it's going to be more of a more faster pace, where it's not. I'm not really sure until we get into beta how fast the respawn is going to be like, and so it's like, I don't like the kill cam. It breeds not good things, in my opinion.
I'd rather be able to see my corpse, or the area around my corpse right after I die, so I can tell if the position's being overrun, or what I might possibly need in my next loadout.
Yeah, that was one of the things that myself and a lot of other people mentioned is, I want to see the environment that I died in first and see what's going on. And, then if you got to go flash my killer to, put it in my face, fine.
Right, because then you're going to just have someone, he's there and I know he's not going to move. I'm going to go find this. It's kind of takes away from your strategy. mean, a lot of people will move on, but some people will,
Right.
you know. So.
Yeah, I kind of want to know what's happened around me after I die, a little bit, at least for a second or two.
It would be quite useful to know if an advanced medic is around, or a medic in general, that is able to rescue.
Yeah, I was curious about that
That's something
too.
I wanted for years.
Like some sort of like icon to show if there's people around you on the mini map after you die, or like.
I mean, like the thing they have in PS now, where if anybody's a medic with their med app out, that shows up on your HUD.
Well, yeah, but it does it from the medic's point of view. I think what somebody was saying was that you would
No,
like
it does it from both.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in PS currently right now, if you're dead and you look on your mini map, there'll be little medic crosses running around the map if there's an advanced medic with his med app out. If you're
right.
a medic with your med app out and you're on your mini map, dead corpses will show up like little triangles.
Right.
Really?
Okay, now
Yeah.
that brings up
I
the
never
question:
noticed
Do we
that.
Done that for a while.
do we know if the res? I don't know this much information. I don't know if I picked this up or not. But is the res instant,
No.
or is it like it used to be?
Nope. One of the videos actually showed it, and it wasn't instant.
I think it was in the
So it is
demo.
a process.
Well, and there was also an option to refuse it as well.
I believe I heard it's 2 to 3 seconds or something like
Yeah.
that, maybe.
Yeah.
It's not instant, thank goodness.
Right. I think it was in the gameplay demo, but they cut a lot of the different mechanics for the sake of the demo. Because I think I saw Higby.
Well, someone broke it down in a thread.
Yeah.
From the video. I can't remember what who was the poster, but it's definitely not instant.
Right.
And I'm sure they're not. They may tweak with the 1 to 2, 2 to 5, whatever once they beta test.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure all of these type of adjustments and timers are all subject to tweaking in beta. And
But if you're listening, Higby, and I know you are, not instant.
yeah,
If you're going to tweak, go the other way.
Yeah.
Well, maybe this. Maybe it would be instant if you spend all your points or whatever your certs in the medic field where you can get to that point. I mean, I don't mind an instant res if it's going to be if you cert into that, if you spend time investing in that area, it'd be just like a medic who's a better medic than the next guy who can patch somebody up faster. So, I'm not so dead set against an instant, but you would have to. It's going to cost you something.
Yeah,
the way I look
well,
at it, maybe.
it's like, okay, if they can get to that point in the cert tree, there's got to be a trade-off. Like the person that's being rezzed is going to be rezzed with no armor, or some not full health, because then it would be everybody be certing.
Yeah,
And getting to that point, it'd be like a whole squad of people instant rezzing.
Yeah, I think that was. I think that's one of the things that people had objections to, was the fact that they didn't want to have soldiers popping up on the battlefield, coming right back to full health again. I think that was the thing that everybody really had objections to. That you ought to come back with some sort of a penalty. Either have to regenerate some health, regenerate some shield, or have it take some time before you could pop back up, because. I mean, if you've got a lot of medics running around and
that could get overpowered.
Yeah, people are just popping up like the little game in where you shoot the thing and it pops back up.
I don't think it's a bad idea to have an instant res, but there's got to be some sort of trade-off.
Yeah, there should be something.
Yeah. You can see a cooldown or something where maybe the medic uses. There's something he pays a price for that or something like that. But you got to remember too. We're thinking kind of in a singular position, because what we're thinking about is we're the only ones doing it, but the enemy will be doing the same thing. So you talk about something contributing to a gigantic battle, and then I hate to do any kind of comparisons with the Battlefield series, of course, that, but you remember some of the awesome things. The battles would really stretch out and they would be really hectic when you had a lot of guys rezzing back instantly into battle constantly. So I mean, it may contribute to that, but I don't know.
But then you ran into the issue with the whole other team being medics. So
yeah,
it's
right.
like there's got to be some
that.
sort of balancing, and we won't know until beta.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure a lot of these things will play out when they actually get some real field testing and actually get people out there playing all this stuff.
It's not a bad idea, but in my opinion, anybody else think? What do you guys think? The other people.
Hello? Anybody?
I'm not interested in
I'm better
instant rezzing.
watching
No.
the footage on the show.
Yeah,
it's mesmerizing, isn't it? I keep
It's
sitting
so
there.
beautiful.
I know. I keep getting distracted myself. My eyes keep wandering over to the screen and watching this beautiful gameplay footage. That, it does make it hard to
Yeah.
think.
By the way, shout out to Super Morto for putting all this video together into one massive long video, and enhancing it as well.
Yeah, you did a great job.
I was planning on coming and talking about that one thread that we have in the forums about the AoE heal grenades, possible revive grenades. That's the thing that a lot of people have been talking about recently.
Definitely, yes. That's certainly an interesting topic.
But then he mentioned the grenades in one of the videos, saying that the grenades were going to be based off resources.
That's correct.
So that should, be interesting to see if it's going to be the same for the medic specific or all grenades, all specific grenades.
Yeah, all specific.
All of the grenades.
I believe all of the grenades, are going to cost resources.
That was the response
more
to
grenade
the Reddit
spamming.
grenade spam.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because that was pretty prevalent in PlanetSide 1, grenade spam.
Right.
So.
But now if it's going to be a resource drain, then, it's
you're going to
certainly
think about it before you throw that grenade, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Or some people will.
And then cooldowns. You can do cooldowns and stuff like that. But, I was curious, and I'll throw this question out there, and just to change a little bit, because I was curious about this. How did, and I'm an old Tribes player, Tribes 2 and Tribes player. So when I saw the guys with the jump jets, that was kind of interesting. That's an interesting dynamic in battle, where somebody can jump up on something like that or jump over and come down from a different angle. What do you guys think about that? How'd you guys take that perspective? It's a big difference from PlanetSide 1.
I think it'll be...
except for the Vanna who have had the maxes.
Yeah, right.
Cool.
Now everybody gets it.
Yes.
I think it'll be pretty cool. Provide some interesting gameplay. I'm more worried about some information that they released in the Light Assault Week about flash grenades and stuff like that. Because as you see, there's plenty of rooftops in the area. It's not hard for a Light Assault to just jump up over, pop in, throw a flash grenade, and then run out. And I kind of think it would be very easily exploitable. What does anyone else think about that?
You can only carry one grenade at a time when they cost resources, so you only be able to do it once.
That is right.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited about the jump jet troops. I think after seeing it in video, that's exactly what I was expecting it to be like. It's just a short boost upwards, and you can get up to buildings and stuff. And I think that's going to be exciting because that's another avenue of just of potential outfits building around that kind of setup. Like Rocketeers, just going in 10 at a time. Entering in one side of a base or going on top of buildings. And I'm really excited for that.
Well, it certainly adds depth to the gameplay too. Because if you're
you
on
never know what direction they're going to come from.
Exactly. If you're looking down corridors and hallways and so forth, now you've got to remember to keep looking up because it could be up on top of buildings, on top of the towers, coming out of hallways up there. So it certainly forces you to increase your awareness in the battlefield.
You're definitely going to think twice before just running straight forward.
Right. Just because the corridor in front of you is clear, you got to make sure that you look all around.
Right.
Lends meaning to the phrase "keep your head on a swivel." That's what you're gonna have to do in this game.
Yeah, it's gonna be a totally different dynamic because almost anybody could be chilling out on a roof that's not normally accessible because they can just jump jet up there. It's not just going to be a max or one specific class or like that. Well, it's going to be a specific class, but it's not going to be just a max. It could be any number of different things up there. So it's going to be.
And not just one faction.
Right,
so.
It's going to be all the factions. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out once we get into the game and start running around and seeing what happens. I think it's going to be interesting. It's going to be definitely different. It'll add another level of gameplay. You're not just going to be thinking about the ground or inside.
And I'm actually glad that it's light assault too, because those aren't the heavy hitters.
Right.
The only thing that concerns me is they can drop their own ammo. That light assault class. So we got to see how that's going to pan out because you can see a lot of rooftop camping.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
I think it's going to move to a different class.
Oh, that needs to be at engineer.
Yeah.
Oh, is that just for the demo?
Easy to kill. So that gives light assault some advantage. And I think
I agree.
Light assault snipe fairly easy. That gives light assault a use. A lot of, some people would use light assault before, but this will give them some little bit of strength that will balance the class a little bit, I think.
I agree, man, because I think a lot of people had a resistance to running that light assault.
Camp.
Yeah.
It needs to go to some other class, not to the jump jet.
I agree. Well, it really all depends on how the ammo is going to work, too.
Yeah, as far as the ammo pack goes, yeah, I'm a little disturbed about that.
Like, it did, when I saw the ammo pack drop during the video, it did seem like it took a long time to pick up ammo, which I'm sure they'll tweak with, but...
I'd rather see that being an engineering type thing where they would deploy an ammo pack, and that's a support role to me rather than have that as part of the soldier.
It just kind of like puts a bad taste in my mouth to see somebody throw an ammo pack down. I've never liked that mechanic in any game. I've never liked it. I've always preferred to, like, if I need ammo, I should have to go somewhere and get it. Like, I should have to run to an inventory station or
at least have
something.
somebody bring it to you.
Right. I shouldn't, just see an ammo pack go down and all of a sudden hear like 8 times in a row and I'm fully loaded. I've never liked that mechanic in any game that it's been in. So I think it needs to be... It'd be nice if something different was done with it, and it's not just
maybe that you had to deploy it, where it took time.
That's what I said. I think it should be a support role that you deploy a refuel.
Just like a turret, you would deploy a turret. You deploy an ammo dispenser.
Yes.
Turret.
I had this one idea I kind of liked that I posted in forums not that long ago, either this morning or yesterday. And that was that, like, some class could have the ammo box, and it would pretty much just be like an ammo box, and maybe show a number above it, showing how much ammo was left in there. Like, don't provide an infinite amount of ammo in there.
That's a good idea.
And then maybe players could, like, take away or even put in ammo in there. And, like, because in those gen holds, I don't think gen holds are returned. If they do, it would be really awesome. But really, in those gen holds in PS1, a lot of people run out of ammo and have to trade it around. You'd be like, all right, I'm dropping off like 50 rounds of ammo in the box and over here in the consolidation area. Come over and grab it, pick it up.
Yeah. I mean, ammo might even be like a resource thing. I mean, that might, you never know.
Certainly possible, yes.
Like the amount of ammo you can drop out depends on your resources.
Yeah.
Well, I know that they said that they don't want to hurt gameplay by making everything resource dependent. I mean, base weapons, base vehicles.
You need ammo. It's an FPS.
Right.
So.
Right. So I mean, I think the basics are going to be available no matter what, but the resources allow you to get those side grades, get those customizations, to get those specialty items. I think that's what resources are primarily going to be going for. So that you're going to get an advantage and maybe even a distinct advantage by having resources available, but you're not going to be unable to wage war because resources are starved or low. You're still going to be able to pull and draw the basics, because otherwise, if an empire was just overrun, they wouldn't even have any chance to be able to fight back. I mean, you've got to be able to provide them with at least the basic weapons and the basic vehicles.
I still like the concept of the dispenser type thing. The deployable.
Well, war is fought with bullets and beans. In the sense is you have ammo and you have your food. So the resources being somewhat like a food type thing. But I mean, the ammunition is going to dictate the speed of the game in some cases. Because if you're stretched out and you're fighting in an area that you're not near a base or something like that, you're going to have to distribute ammo. So you don't want to slow it down. You got to catch that fine balance. To make it so that you have enough ammo to keep the fight going, and not enough or not too much ammo. Because if you noticed in the gameplay, they're reloading constantly. So you don't want people running out of ammo. That's the big thing. So I think maybe that's the idea and the concept behind that. Because how it is playing FPSs. You run out of ammo constantly because you're constantly shooting.
Yeah, I think some of the reloading ammo thing was wasn't Higby talking about that? How he obsessively reloads.
Yes.
More often than he needs to. So I think that was a part of what was going on there. He
fires 2 rounds, reloads. Fires 3 rounds, reloads.
I have that habit too. I'll fire and reload almost immediately. So
and it's not diminishing from what he said. It's going to be you're not gonna, if you reload the clip, you're not going to lose.
Right.
Which is,
and it's not a bad habit, because there's nothing worse than all of a sudden coming upon an enemy and going click 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 click. Oh, crap.
It's been nice knowing you guys.
Yeah.
And,
it's the worst.
Higby's getting a kick out of you, Manitou, in the IRC channel. He's cracking up. He said, "I like this Manitou guy."
Oh yeah. Hey, put the camera on here, Hammer, for just a second, and I'll introduce my friend here. Let me know when I'm on there.
Yep, you're up.
Check this out. See that? That's my ultimate blaster, and you notice it shoots red because I'm TR. Beware.
Yeah, that's the new TR pistol.
Nice. It's win.
TR for life.
Indeed.
All right.
So,
Well, we talked about ammo.
Where do I get this gun in purple?
Can we get this gun in purple?
Ooh, I'm sorry.
You
It
don't
doesn't.
make them purple.
Yeah,
TR only.
that's going to be a
Okay, now,
problem.
where do I get this gun? And where do I get a purple LED? I build
It's
it
Empire
myself.
specific memorabilia.
Good stuff.
Sorry, folks. Occasionally we get total silence, and it's kind of our job to make sure that doesn't happen. But sometimes I'm distracted as well. There's so many things going on. I'm
Yes,
like a
pretty pictures. Of the
yeah. I mean,
game.
there's like stuff happening all around.
I
and
can't
people,
see anything.
People talking, and I just don't know where to look
we want
next.
to talk about lack of platoons.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know that
Yeah.
A lot of
that
people.
geared up some people, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, go ahead.
I was
Well, I was gonna say, maybe. Too bad we couldn't get Firefly on here to say a few words. How about that one?
How did Firefly post again? Missed that.
Well, he's
But yeah, Platoon's
how
definitely
he
gonna be in there.
posts, we'd have to do a lot. You'd be talking and say, well, beep, no, beep, beep.
We would need to put a delay on the show, and I don't have that type of money around. I
Yeah.
can't afford a
Yeah.
delay system.
Either that or
No,
an
no,
M-rated
not
title.
Firefly.
Well,
I enjoy Firefly.
Yeah, he's always amusing to watch for sure.
But yeah, the lack of a platoon structure definitely caused a little controversy. And
That worries me.
it worries a few people apparently. What do you guys think?
I was shocked, like the way Higby was talking about it. He was like, "Oh, you don't. Well, I mean, you'll be able to see your outfit on map. You don't really need it with the mission system." But that seems completely wrong to me because, I mean, like when you form a platoon in reality, like you form a platoon for inspection, for attendance, accountability, and whatnot, and you can't really keep accountability in PlanetSide in an online game unless you have that platoon system in place. And it just makes communication so much easier, like gold 4 enemies over here, or like purple 7 needs a res.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I
it's
mean
the
for-
information though.
Go ahead.
There's the information flow. Basically, the platoon system allowed for a lot quicker information to be exchanged between players, and that's really what's necessary in something as chaotic as PS.
And that
But,
was one of the best
in the
parts
larger-
of PlanetSide, the squads.
Yeah.
It was certainly a great
platoons.
feature. I mean, I know Hippie said, well, you can see the squads in your outfit, but I mean, there was a lot of times that you had squads from different outfits that formed platoons. So I mean, you're not going to be able to see squads, I would think, from somebody else's outfit. So if you want to have that type of grouping, unless there's some mechanic that we're not aware of. Now, maybe this is why he said, there won't be a platoon structure. Maybe there is some sort of a way to track a group of players. But I was kind of shocked with that, too. It's like, well, yeah, I mean, we'd like to have a little fighting force of 30 people that we can coordinate and use that platoon structure to be effective. And it might not necessarily be squads from the same outfit. So I was a little confused at his statement.
Well,
To be fair, that wasn't Higby. That was T-Ray who made that statement.
Yeah, that's right. It was T-Ray
Okay.
in that video. Right? It was.
You go first. I'm polite today.
All right. So the way I could see it working is maybe you can see the other squads in the mission that you're currently working on. So like that would more or less be a platoon, more or less, but not really.
But basically provide the same type of communication tool, and that you could specify, if the squads had, colors like they did the different type of parts of the platoon do now, you could have that same effect and benefit as a platoon gives you.
Well, let me take the devil's advocate on this a little bit, and just to challenge you guys a little bit. It seems like I was listening to y'all how you're speaking. It seems like the main concern is the lack of communication between, you can identify things. Well, any outfit, and the only thing I could see would be a problem, and I'll handle that in just a second. If you don't have platoons, you still have TeamSpeak or whatever you're using. CDL uses TeamSpeak 3. So we're very careful to identify where we are at, and our squad leaders have complete control over their squad. So if they're given a mission to do something, they know where they need to be, and then so basically who's running the operation depends on who's running the operation we'll be getting feedback from these things and disseminating this information, how to react, where to go, what to do, how to send support. So communication is done over your communication device. I can see where you would use the colors, but I can identify, squad 3 sees this. I know where squad 3's at, so I'll send whatever resources need to go in that direction. The only thing that would be a problem, and you guys have mentioned this, is other outfits. If they're not in your TeamSpeak 3 communication range or in the server where you'd be able to communicate with them, it'd be difficult to set up unless you pre-coordinate that. So yeah, I could see that would be a problem. But really think outside that, because we can communicate on TeamSpeak 3 and identify where things need to go. It's actually kind of a just an administrative thing within the game itself. Squads now I think are important, but the platoon itself not so much so. But that's just something from a different perspective as I was listening to you guys.
Platoons are basically just bigger squads, and that's what they really are, and that's the important thing they do. That's the really important thing they do, because you need those bigger squads and bigger outfits. What we in Vanucorp did was usually when we attacked the base with full platoons French, we had our outfit leader Kosh saying gold squad back door, purple squad front door, orange squad wherever else, and he just knew exactly if everything was going according to plan when he just pressed M, looked at the map and saw this blob of yellow at the back door, this blob of purple at the front door, and the blob of orange at somewhere else. That's what platoons did for us, and we need them for exactly that.
And they're talking about expanding on things. I really don't see why we don't upgrade from platoons to companies up to 100-man groups.
That would be interesting.
Well, it's a good management tool. Whether how you end up using it, it does provide for some easy management. And just there may be some other tools in the game that we don't know about yet that would allow for that type of management. But I just kind of was surprised that they had a kind of a lackadaisical response to, well, what do you need platoons for?
Well, Higby just said
their main thing is that they're trying to use mission systems, try to use that to replace the platoons, because those would be the organizational tools that they want. However, I really think they're putting a lot on the mission system, because what happens when the mission is done?
Yeah.
What happens to the people who've signed up for the mission? Do they stay together? Does it break up? I'd really like to see the ability to use multiple things. Like, it seems like it's putting too much eggs into one system, and the system hasn't been thrown in through the fire yet.
Well, Higby just said in the AGN channel that we may need to add, if we do need to add platoons, we will. So.
Yeah.
They're going
Okay,
to.
well, think about this, though. The platoon is limited. How many squads could you have in a platoon?
3.
Okay, so that's 30 people in the old game. In the new game, if they've got something else that's organized, you're not limited to that. And maybe there's something else to identify, but you can have, if you have more than 30 people, which we did at some point in time, we had more than 30 people online at a time. Then you've got some people who can't be a part of this platoon, then it becomes a little bit more hard to communicate. So if you have something you just go with squads, an unlimited number of squads, and again, what I'm doing here, guys, is kind of throwing the devil's advocate at you to make you think this through, to see what they're trying to do. A platoon actually limits what the on-field commander can do. It does give him some advantages as far as what Mars said, is management, but it does limit. I was a little frustrated sometimes when I could only have 3 squads. I mean, if you wanted to have more than that, you'd form another platoon, obviously. But with squads, if you know what all your squads are, if you just can link them somehow other than that, then not a platoon. I don't know. Maybe think about it that way. See how we can maybe.
Well, maybe ideally, would it be nice to be able to have that color-coordinated system and maybe organize into groups of your own choosing. Maybe you want just a 5-man squad for a specific duty, or maybe you want a bigger squad. Maybe you want 15 men for a particular object. I mean, it would be nice to be able to have that type of flexibility to group different sized people, groups of people together, and call it a squad or whatever, but to have that same type of coordination and color coding where you've got that type of management for a commander to say, okay, I want this group here or this size group there, and not be limited to just 30 people and not be limited to just 3 squads.
You can just take platoons and make them 4 squads or 5 or 6 or 20.
Exactly. Yes. of any size you want, and as many colors as you want, and as many different arrangements as you want. I mean, if you had that type of flexibility as a commander, then you could really tailor your operation to whatever was required.
Then you don't. And I think that's what they're talking about, Mars. If you do that, there's no need for a platoon, really. What they're saying is if you could link these other guys up, and I don't know, maybe it's the mission thing, I'm not sure, but if you can link these somehow, but I mean, obviously it would be more difficult within the game's UI, possibly, I don't know, but I think that's maybe where they're going, and that's what I was kind of trying to get across, that we don't have to depend so much on the platoon, but the communication is the key between the on-field battle site commander.
Communication and management is what I see as the big advantages for that.
Yeah.
If I, as a commander, can link up whatever amount of squads to see each other, gives them colors to identify each other, and be able to communicate with each other, then it's still technically a platoon.
Yeah.
It's just a platoon, nothing else.
Right.
And they apparently don't want that. Not that they don't want that. Heck, we didn't say they don't want that. They don't think they need that. And I say, really, we need that. No way around it.
Yeah.
Nothing can replace platoons.
Well, I mean, I think Higby's onto something here. I think that, platoons were added in PlanetSide after the patch, and I think the game actually really needed something like that. I mean, there wasn't, something to coordinate, multiple squads at once. I mean, the mission system might just do that. So I think I'm with Higby on this one, and I think we got to see how the mission system works. Maybe the tools that it provides is just good enough. So
yeah,
I see the mission system being ignored by outfits mostly.
Well, it depends on how the mission system works. I mean, if you can provide this level of organization as part of a mission, maybe you don't have necessarily such a specific a purpose. But I mean, if it's for the purpose of coordinating your troops, you might be able to make a mission just to get that organization.
Yeah, I think
I talked to Higby a little bit about the missions, and there's going to be a limited list of missions you can create for different things. So you won't be able to necessarily. So there are going to be limitations on the mission system, and if you want to take the platoon and go do something that's outside of any of the mission options, you'd probably have to create a fake mission in order to do that, and that will probably cause a little bit of chaos. And I really prefer to have a system besides the mission system, which is really geared towards giving more BEP for people who want to complete these certain activities that they're promoting. I would like to see a system outside that allows players more freedom.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the mission system really is a total wild card here in this whole conversation. It's like, it's this thing that we've never had before, so we understand a little bit about it, like you just said, but it's just kind of one of those things that we don't really know much about yet, or how we'll be able to utilize it.
I think the basic idea is pretty clear. Make a mission, let people who want to take the mission take the mission, and go there and make the mission. Whatever else comes to it, whatever additional organization tools, is unimportant really. Because it comes down to be either a platoon or something else, and something else won't be enough.
Right. All I can think about while we're talking about platoons is that new DirecTV commercial with Charlie Sheen, and they said, "Don't end up like Charlie Sheen in Platoon," or something like that.
Yeah, don't play Platoon. Don't act out Platoon with Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, don't act out Platoon with Charlie Sheen, and he's behind like the plant. Sorry.
He's got a crossbow.
Yeah. That's an awesome commercial. Sorry, totally off topic.
I think there's I don't really think we should be trying to reinvent the wheel. I mean, the military follows the company structure system with squads, platoons, etc. And it's like that for a reason. It's because of management, and I think it's important to have a proper management tool in there. And while we could have one person manage 7 squads very easily by himself, I mean, not everyone can do that, and that's something that you really have to focus entirely on. You have to really micromanage that. And I just think it's good to have a proper management system in there, and that we shouldn't reinvent the wheel, so to speak. And while we're looking at missions, we need to kind of like we don't really know how XP from missions will work. I mean, well, like in platoons in PlanetSide 1, like everyone inside the platoon will gain experience from each other, getting kills and whatnot.
Yeah, that's the other aspect too of it.
Yeah, so it's like, will that happen again with squads in PlanetSide 2, and will everyone under the same mission like be linked in experience, or will they all just gain experience when the mission's over?
One of the things that Higby said to me was that from what he sees, platoons were added into the original PlanetSide due to a lack of design, and that they were, they didn't really plan for that, and they just had to kind of throw it in, and that's what happened. And he sounds like to me that they have figured out a way to do this without having platoons, and I hope they have.
I'll agree with that, because it was just thrown in, after the fact.
All of command was thrown in after the fact. I mean, we it was one of the things that was exciting about PS1. We kept talking about, we're going to have command structure, we're going to have command stuff, and as it got closer and closer to launch, we had frighteningly little stuff about command. And when it was released, it was pathetically thin. Let's put it that way.
Someday CR4 and CR5 will actually do something.
Yeah. And so a lot of that command stuff was afterthoughts. I agree. It certainly looked that way. It was played out that way, and it really kind of has ended up that way. It's never really a robust command system.
Okay, well now here's what I was thinking about. I was going through this and thinking about what some of the limitations. We're talking again, communications, getting boots in the field to where they need to be. What do you do? I mean, isn't that what we do in outfits as well? I mean, let's say the outfit is your squad, is your platoon. I mean, we talked about organization and stuff like that. The outfit could possibly serve as the company / platoon, depending on the size you have. Obviously, we're talking different types of numbers here, but so your outfit has all the squads within that. Now, you could invite other people somehow. I mean, on how you could attach the two. I guess that's the issue here is how you would attach other. That's a tripping point I can see in the squads, how you communicate with other outfits in that command structure. So that would be the thing, I guess. But I really think we shouldn't get so upset about the platoons not being there, because, again, they weren't there in the beginning. We handled it well. Like we just was mentioned, the point was taken there that they were kind of thrown in. So let's not panic too much yet, because I know they've got a plan for it. But, it's something we were used to. But I think we may find out it's going to be a little bit easier to deal with the squads. My thoughts.
Once we find out what they have implemented in it now.
Yeah.
I mean, Higby said in the channel, if they have to, for some reason, I think it was, if it's needed, we can always look into it. So, I mean, that's where the feedback comes in.
Right. I mean, certainly we can certainly hammer this point again if it gets into beta. And it's like,
Pun intended.
We don't have enough squad management tools. We don't have enough ability to coordinate. We'd like to have some ability to, have each other see, different squads, let them be able to, intercommunicate and coordinate. So, I don't think it would be an overly difficult thing for them to add if we really needed it. And like I said, they may already have something that works well as a substitution.
What about this?
Go ahead.
Before we move on.
You knew I was about to do that, didn't you?
Yeah, before we move on, let's move in a bit. New thread on PSU. We shall analyze what we as outfits, players, squad leaders, whatever, need from a command structure to be effective, besides platoons or something that's called replace platoons or whatever. I shall do so now. And silence.
No, I think that's a good idea, because I think that is something that, like I said, when we first heard about the original PlanetSide, the whole command idea was really cool, and it's really something that they dropped the ball on and never really fully implemented to a level I think that they could have. And I was hoping that when they did PlanetSide 2 that we'd have these rich set of tools that really allowed us to do command in a way that was rewarding and rich, and allowed good coordination in these fantastic tactical scenarios that could be well planned and well executed. So it'd be good to actually see what people think about of that type of thing. What do you want for, what do you need as former players and just new people, coming into the game. Speaking of commanders.
Yeah, that's actually what I was going to talk about.
Yeah, go
we
ahead.
don't have it on our list, but it was something that came up. I don't even remember where it came up. Did he talk about it on the forum?
I think it was in the Reddit interviews.
Maybe. I think it was.
Yeah.
So he talked about the command system and kind of almost having in the future some type of follow system where it's almost like a Twitter type of thing where if you like a certain commander, you follow them and kind of get updates from them or whatever, or get missions from them and so on.
And that's how they promote commanders to a higher level and rank. And,
right.
you know,
So
they can give out
I
better
thought
missions.
that was entirely in jest.
was it?
It sort of felt like it, because I think that was going back for when he and T-Way were poking at each other.
Oh, well.
Maybe it was. Maybe
Can
it
you
wasn't
clarify
Jess.
that for us, Higby? I'll be watching
Was
the
it-
channel.
Yeah, we're going to know if that was real because I don't like it. And that'll be a whole lot less talking that I have to do.
Yeah. Yeah, that actually invoked quite a bit of
Yeah, there was-
discussion. So
Yeah, there was a conversation about it, or a topic about it in the forums, for sure. It was one of those ones that was less than well received, I think.
Yeah, I actually kind of really like that idea. I mean, I could see how it could go horribly wrong, but to an extent, I can see it being good.
yeah, I actually posted in that forum and I said, it's got merit, but I didn't want to see it become a popularity contest because we all remember from PlanetSide 1 all these outfits that, hey, we'll take anybody. You could, oh, you're a newbie? Yeah, come on, join my outfit. And you ended up with these huge outfits that had really no organization, no benefit to the person being there. But they would promote their commanders because they had sheer numbers. And they became a miniature Zerg unto themselves. And I'd hate to see a follow system like that was promoting a commander through sheer popularity and the Zerg numbers when he really doesn't have any credentials, any background, any skill. As long as there was combined with some sort of a ranking system where the guy actually could prove his credentials and say, hey, I've done X number of missions, I've done this many successfully, and actually could promote his credibility. To deserve to be followed rather than just by sheer numbers. I think some sort of a combination would be a great idea. But just as a popularity contest of, he's got X number of followers, that's like having, I have 3,000 Facebook friends.
Yeah, I mean, I that's the
He's
same.
not commenting on it, by the way.
That's the exact reason I don't like it. I just do not like popularity contest based things like that in a game, and that's what it becomes because it's not going to be anything else. Somebody's going to wage some type of, popularity campaign, or some crazy Zerg fit is going to have like 1,200 members in it, and then everybody in that outfit will vote for this person, and then it's silly because you end up. It's just anything that's controlled by the players in that manner leads to being griefed in some way.
He said people think that's a troll, ? Haha. So I'm guessing it's not a troll from that response.
I think it's silly, especially if you're limited in the missions you can set. I mean, how's the mission that you set really reflect commander's ability?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're going to attack here, and you just happen to say, like, let's go here, and everyone's like, okay, we'll go here. And it's like, you take there, you win the mission, everyone gets experience, and you lose, like, 2 other bases during that. Most people aren't going to see that. Most people don't have, like, the ability to examine the battlefield and be like, we're going to lose, like, these 5 hexes if we all go here. And they'll just go there, they'll get the experience, and they'll be happy because they got the experience, and it'll just compound in Twitter followers with this guy, and they'll just keep getting more and more experience for doing this Zerg fest in like bad areas, and everyone will keep following because he has the most rewards in his missions
and the most followers.
Right.
Yeah.
And it
That's
not
the most
necessarily
important
makes
thing.
sense to do it, but you're doing it because
Right.
you're getting experience.
Well, yeah, that's why I said it's got to be some sort of a carefully ranked system that really takes into account, not only territory gained but territory lost, and how effective were you, and how quickly did you get the mission accomplished, how many resources did you expel with it, how many resources did you lose in the course of doing this. So I mean, if you could somehow put that in together to come up with some sort of a qualifying a score or rank for a commander.
I.e., if the mission's kind of pointless, they lose some sort of demotion.
Well, you certainly don't get
well,
a
how
heck
can the
of a lot
game
of
tell
rank.
the difference between a useful mission and a
Right.
pointless mission?
Yeah.
That's
It
the
really
hard
can't.
part.
Yeah.
If you're trying to create a system so complex like that, it is bound to fail.
Well, the higher you get in the mission, how about you start putting penalties in there? The commander, I think somebody just mentioned it, they lose command points or they lose reputation, whatever you want to call it. I hate to use reputation, but they lose that type of stuff, make it cost. And I'm surprised nobody's mentioned body count yet. What about body count? The commander racks up the most piles of bodies. No, I'm just joking. But, you know,
Not possible.
Authority
You
to
forget
ass
about
kicking.
decoys.
Update, Higby says he's serious about the system, sure his popularity arguments, but he says it's already like that with outfits.
and he's got a point.
Outfits, no, not really. I argue against that because normally people say the outfits that are the most stable and largest normally aren't popularity contests. It's more of who can manage a large group most effectively.
And that's why I think there's a good argument for the follower thing, because, you know, the bigger outfits are usually the better outfits for the most part. I know
wait
there's
a
some
minute.
Sometimes.
No, that's a kind of a that's not true.
Then he says if your outfit leader says to attack, then you will, even if it's worthless because they're your leader.
Well, true.
Well-
but like from what I understand, you're going to have missions that are going to be available from your outfit leader, from what do you say, like 3 sources. You know, high up in your organization, like maybe, you know, one of the would be our CR5s.
And then we got to worry about the leaders that are going to be like, you can't be in my outfit unless you vote for me. To, you know, the ranking system.
Well, like I said, I'd rather see commanders rewarded for efficient missions and being able to execute well and not use a ton of resources and getting the job done. So some way to at least qualify them, other than sheer, you know, I vote for you because, you know, I'm in an outfit that you know, has 3,000 people and it's just that's, you know.
Yeah,
You're a crappy leader, but I just had that many votes.
Well, what I like about the Twitter commander Twitter thing. Well, one of the things you got to keep in mind is it can be a two-way process. I mean, there are going to be good players that, you know, who may follow a commander and, you know, they might not do so good, so you can, you know, drop them.
If that was the case, then I would have no problem with it. If you could say, you know, I put a thumbs down for this player. It's got to be both ways, because I mean, if it's just, you know, the number of thumbs up without any way to detract from a player, then that becomes a problem. If you can cast a negative vote, I have no problem.
And I think the other thing that works nice is, you know, if you actually like the commander, I think it's easier for, you know, people to get into, you know, kind of organized combat.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if you know, it's like our existing CR5s. I mean, we all know who the good CR5s are and who are the guys that are just whiners and, you know, people that you just basically price on ignore.
Yeah, I mean, if you put, and then on the flip side, if you put a thumbs down in, then what happens when some Zerg fit decides that they don't like you? So then all of a sudden you're being griefed by being thumbs down by like 300 people. I don't like the system all around. I think it's just a bad idea. It's just a bad idea.
The 300 people won't matter because 3,000 people like you.
I don't think that's ever going to get to that scale, to be honest. I don't think...
It will.
I doubt it. I mean,
I
see
people seeing 10,000 people liking them.
I just don't see that happening.
Continents, because that's how many players a server site will have.
I don't know. I just don't see that happening. I don't think that it's going to be that good. I don't know. I don't see it happening. But I don't like popularity based systems.
Well, here's the thing with this.
Everybody vote Basti.
Maybe they're trying to deal with the current CR5 situation, and what they're trying to do is, I was reading in the chat, maybe they're trying to figure out a way that the game doesn't, you know, have these Zergs that are just like a school of fish. Something goes pop, the fish go in a different direction, and they go this direction, and they go this direction, and the units that are trying to get something done, the commanders that are trying to get something done, seem to have to try to scream above everybody else that's got CR5.
Exactly.
And that's really frustrating for those CR5s that are trying to get a job done. And what they're trying to do is point out the guys that get the job done. So who gets promoted in the military is the guy who gets the job done.
But that's exactly my point, Manny. Because I mean, if the problem that if it's a popularity contest, and you're going to have all of these guys that are part of the Zerg making their leader have a higher rank than the guy that's actually trying to do something and actually doing it right, and I think that's what I have a problem with.
Because not every outfit's like
it should be a thumb down. You should be able to give a thumb down.
Well,
if there's a negative report against the guy, then you do that.
Yeah, well, again, it all falls to numbers, and again, it has issues. Like I said, without some sort of a backing, because I mean, like I said, we all know who the good commanders are, and if you could actually prove that, then somebody could say, well, look at this guy. He's got an X number of rating as far as he's actually getting something done. He's been effective in these things. Well, this guy's got more votes. But look at his rating. He's horrible. He hasn't done a good mission at all. But he's just got a bunch of people that think he's great. But without some sort of a qualification on leaders, I think it becomes, as Hammer said, it just degrades into a sheer popularity contest.
Well, think about it.
Ignore the fact that leaders communicate with each other, and what will happen? What always happens in every game is that some leaders team up. So you have this group of leaders who are effective, who get stuff done, who make everything purple, as opposed to red or blue. And you have this bunch of idiots who just be Basti, for example, or whatever name that haunts you during your sleep. And those guys just lose all their followers pretty quickly if they fail, because what will happen is that all the good leaders will just say, yeah, people, you follow me, unfollow that guy because he's a prick and he's failing all day. And all the guys who follow you will just agree or deny you. Most will agree because they see this guy being an idiot. And
I see more flaming between commanders coming with
prick,
that.
Let me just finish. This arrogant prick who just fails all day and just annoys the rest of the Zerg all day is suddenly without any followers.
Well, yeah, I mean,
he will never gain them again.
Again, my overall argument with the whole thing is not how it would work or this or that. It's just that it can be easily abused, and I don't like systems that can be easily abused.
Yeah,
Every system
there could also be
abused.
Yeah, there can be also unintended consequences. Imagine if a celebrity started playing PlanetSide, like Kanye West started playing, and then everybody's following him and doing his missions.
Kim Kardashian was our main example in the thread.
Yeah.
Nice.
She better not be TR.
It's just, for me, it's just something that can be abused, and there's already enough things that can be abused, and I don't like that.
Yeah. I would just like to see it done on some other thing than popularity. I mean, missions completed or some sort of a scale, and let those guys be the popular leaders rather than just because you vote for them.
Actually, Higby's point that he just made in chat, never mind. I love this system. It's awesome.
I saw that.
What were we talking about again?
Apparently
sorry,
how
I forgot all
you're
about
a
it.
baller in the community and will be the #1 leader in PlanetSide 2.
Right.
Or
I don't think he wants that responsibility.
Or I'll be the #1 the person that gets voted down the most.
Yeah, especially if you have to edit someone's post or give them a warning. You
That's
get
right.
demoted.
Right, I get demoted because I banned someone from the forums.
Yeah, Higby should get... Hammer should get mod power in the game.
I agree with that as well. Any powers that I get beyond the normal player, I can definitely
Maybe
get
your
behind.
admin panel.
Yeah, I saw that admin menu when you guys were doing the demo. I'd love to have that. That'd be awesome.
As a VS, I discourage this.
/spawn
He would never abuse his powers.
Slash kill all and see?
Yeah.
I could live with that. Just don't touch the VS.
I'm reading what Higby's saying in the channel, trying to...
In every game, you're always going to have a Zerg. And the Zerg's always going to go where Zerg goes. I think it's better to channel kind of where Zerg drifts to than try to make the Zerg decide who should be the leader. The Zerg's just going to go where the most experience is.
Yeah, that's true.
I just want to say this real quick. Think about it if you have 10 commanders. 8 of them all just try and go with the Zerg. 2 of them are really good. Those 8 are all going to get split on the votes. None of them are going to get to the top because they're all doing the same crappy thing. those two are going to get the votes from people like us who know who to vote for,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll actually rise to the top, I would hope.
People vote for whoever's funny and downvote whoever's an asshole.
Yeah, so what you have to do as one of the two now is to talk with the 8 and make sure that those 8 cooperate with you too. Send the Zerg where the Zerg needs to be, have the outfits and stuff doing the important stuff. To support the Zerg, or have the Zerg support the outfits. That's what we always did.
I guess we'll have to see how it all plays out. You know, if it's something that
we clearly
works,
need more
works.
details on the system.
Oh yeah, we need more details, and I think I think a lot of us are probably frustrated because the command system in PlanetSide 1 just sucked total ass.
Yeah.
In any way, shape, or form, it was horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, at first it was good because at first you had, I can't even remember the guys' names now. It was so long ago, but at first, the first folks who got CR5, maybe the first 20 or so, were awesome. Like, they got to it because they were good leaders, and people would follow them in PlanetSide because they were good leaders. And then, as the years dragged on, you've got,
a few more.
You've got D-Bag who speaks in all caps, and you've got somebody who blurbs out obscenities, and then you've got somebody who's speaking a foreign language or typing in the,
right,
strange characters.
And suddenly there's 500 CR5.
Yeah, and suddenly, now probably, I don't know. I'd love to know what the percentage of characters in the game are CR5. It would be an interesting stat to see, but. I mean, we know that system was totally broken, and so I'm interested to see what they come up with in this game. It's going to be a lot different because it's free to play, so you can get anybody in there at any time.
Right.
So it's going to be a lot different. It's going to be... They're going to have to design a really good command system if they want to keep the command system in the game.
Yes, and devs, don't get us wrong. I mean, we greatly appreciate that you want to change and recognize that there is a problem with the the CR5 system, and anything that you do is greatly appreciated.
Yeah,
so
because
it's not that we aren't happy that you're trying to make some change. As it definitely needs it. So keep those ideas coming
because it's broken.
It is definitely broken.
And we kind of foresaw, I'm sure almost everybody that was playing at first foresaw that it was going to be bad eventually. And it didn't take very long before it started to get bad.
No, it went downhill quick.
And then it became a popularity contest because, I like this guy, so we'll always group with him. Or it was bad. It was just bad all around. So it needs to be improved. And I'd love to still be able to draw things on the map. Let's make sure we get that in as well.
Oh, that's fun. The dinosaurs walking on the continents, that was great. But the funny thing is about the whole thing, I never made CR5. I didn't even want to be in that cesspool at the end. I never made CR5. And, and our outfit, you guys, I think Hamma and Mars, the rest of these guys did.
No,
our outfit was
I'm CR3.
You didn't make it either, Mars? Yeah.
No, not even close.
I got as far as CR4.
Very, very effective. Yeah. And most, I never made CR5. We got the job done, so I don't think that was a big thing. I mean, it gave you some extra abilities, but...
Yeah, and consider yourself lucky. I did make CR5, and that channel was just brutal.
Yeah, I mean, the only from what I can see, the only thing that you got to see with CR5 was just to view the cesspool, firsthand.
So you got to see their stuff all the time
right.
instead of just when they did a continent or global broadcast. So it was just constant bickering, constant arguing, constant calling each other names.
Yeah, if the behind the scenes was any indication of what was flying over the globals, then I didn't want any part of it anyway.
Yeah, it's a bunch of 12-year-olds.
That's what it seemed like, yeah.
Mine is bigger than yours, blah, blah, blah.
Well, it was usually me saying that.
Oh, okay, excuse me.
So
snap.
Let's not talk about that.
I think for the mission follower system to work, there needs to be no benefit for the commander. He has to be making the leadership decisions simply because he wants to lead, or simply because he wants his empire to win. If you put some kind of a benefit in there for the commander, then they'll just abuse it. They'll be like, hey, look, an inner farm. I'll put a mission here. Everyone's going to follow me now. It's going to be a huge benefit.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's something I suggested ages ago. Make a choice. OS or leader, not boss. If you lead, you can't have an OS. There should be no benefit at all for leading. It should be you do it because it has to be done, not you do it because you get free stuff.
Well, yes, the only benefit from leading would maybe be, experience on the cert tree to become a better leader. But yeah, that should be it.
But not everybody thinks like Basti, and people generally, gamers.
But that's what the good leaders are. The
Yeah.
people that lead for their empire.
But then you're going to have the douches.
Yeah.
So, and there are quite a few of them out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, making it have, it needs to have some kind of benefit, or nobody's going to do it for sure. But it certainly shouldn't be some crazy benefit, so that everybody's like, oh, I need to do this, or I won't get, X.
All right, I need to interject here because I've been having a long conversation with Evil Pig, who's in one of their channels up here in PS3, about what the CR channel is, about the mission system and how command structure works. And he says we're basically getting it all wrong. And Evil Pig was also at the meetup, so I listened to him on this. But he says that subscribing to a commander, it just allows you to see their chat missions and waypoints, and they get their command XP by their missions being completed.
Right.
Hmm.
It doesn't really change my opinion on it, though. Yet. I'll have to see it in action.
That's a lot less repugnant, I suppose would be the word I'd use for it, than the system I like using tweets and what have you, and giving them access to gold, but following on an individual basis and then seeing their missions, waypoints, and chat.
And then the other thing that comes to mind is that it kind of like gives less recognition for like the smaller outfits, because if you get better rewards on the mission, if everyone gets more experience from the mission, from having the most followers and stuff, if a smaller outfit goes out and does something very important to the war effort, but like, will they be properly recognized for it? Probably not with the mission system. It's kind of like it needed to be done and no one really cares. Kind of like behind the scenes work.
Yeah, I can see that too.
So does this mean I got to get a Twitter account? For crying out loud, I hate that thing.
It sounds like
Jump on the bandwagon, I got one.
It sounds like Higby will follow you, so maybe you should start one.
No, I'm not getting on that.
I'm right there with you, Manny. I hate this thing too.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it either. I was just gonna say, and plus, if you get a Twitter account, we can put it underneath your name when you talk on AGN. So that would be I shouldn't say that because we don't have it under ours. So
yeah, that's true.
But I'm not a huge fan of Twitter either. But I've grown.
You run a fan site,
I've grown to,
and it's the social.
Yeah, it's just kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I use it because not because I have to necessarily, but I mean, I don't hate it, but.
It's kind of becoming a tool of the trade.
Yeah, it's a tool. It's a tool of the.
It's not his favorite thing.
It's in the toolbox, next to Facebook.
Right.
Although I must say, it allows our reach as a fan site to go well beyond what it was in the past. I mean, I can broadcast something out to 2,000 people in about 12 seconds or less, and it's a tool that. Actually, the 90% of our traffic, or 80% or something like that, comes from those two sources when we broadcast something out. So
it's nice to be able to reach the masses relatively instantly when we've got something of interest to point out. So.
And it helps focus conversations on the forums. And if the devs want feedback on something, we can direct them folks to specific threads and stuff like that.
And we get to see what Higby has for lunch.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, we haven't had a lunch picture in a
recently.
while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually brought that up at Fanfare that we hadn't been able to see Higby's food in a while.
He hasn't been eating. He's been so busy with PlanetSide 2.
That's right.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe he's just not
That
eating.
explains why he was really digging in that night.
He's just keeping the food in his hair now since he hasn't been cutting.
Right.
He's keeping true to our promise from the last show.
Yeah.
His hair didn't look like it had been cut, right, guys?
He told me he hadn't cut it in IRC chat before we started.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, there we go.
Your hair is going to be like long enough to braid by the time we get into What is it, beta or PlanetSide launch? What was it? It was beta, right?
I think it was beta, yeah.
Beta.
That reminds me, Arclegger said that folks who deliver results get more followers on Twitter, and that T-Ray and Higby have lots of followers, but why don't I have a lot of followers?
You ask me.
I guess I don't deliver results.
Well, you haven't been running a promotion campaign either for followers. I mean,
That's true.
These guys are out there
Maybe I should do that.
shamelessly begging for followers, saying, "Come on, follow me."
Maybe I should
Follow
do
me,
that.
I'll give screenshots. Yeah, see, they give out good stuff.
Right,
Although we are,
there's the T-shirts. That's right.
We do have a shameless thing going on the PSU account, actually.
Yeah, that's true. got those T-shirts. Matter of fact, we should show them that we.
Yeah, we're
speaking
pretty
of which,
close to
Do you
that.
want me to get one to show them? The ones that aren't on us.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me take off my shirt.
Oh no.
Oh, you guys mind if I just take it off? Is that going to be awkward for anybody watching, or
Take it
no?
all off.
Okay. All right. Well, just hold on a second. I'll cut back to me, and I'll be naked.
What you and Jen do, just let me leave the room first.
Oh, we got no chat about
Emma's
that.
bringing out the hammer.
Yeah. No, what I was about to say is when we hit 1,000 followers on the PSU at PSUcom Twitter account, we are going to give away 2 PlanetSide 2 T-shirts to 2 random followers. And actually, we are 5 followers away from 1,000. So somebody's going to be winning a PlanetSide 2 T-shirt here pretty soon.
Oh, excellent! Wow, was that close?
$9.95. Yeah.
Do you want to show them the new T-shirts?
Oh yeah, we've got the new PSU T-shirts as well. I don't know if some of you folks. Ooh.
Back.
There's the front, and there's the back.
I got
Excellent.
my VS T-shirt from the meetup. I'm
Sending
satisfied.
some out to Higby.
And we have and we have the PlanetSide 2 T-shirts.
Right.
You forget to cut over. We
Cut-
still see TeamSpeak.
Oh, I did.
Oh,
Oh
yeah, you
man,
did forget
wow!
to get over.
What a
Hey,
noob!
Hey,
what
bring that back.
what kind of noob has been running this show?
He didn't cut.
The
I
T-shirt
didn't-
looks exactly like the TeamSpeak.
Nobody
Yeah,
saw it.
yeah,
It is.
that's
It's a T-shirt
true.
that has
It has my
TeamSpeak.
name on it.
That's right. It has
Yep.
Basti's name.
That's right. It's a TeamSpeak T-shirt, and here they are right
Okay, here we go.
It's electronically signed by all of us.
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
There is the front, and there is our PSU logo with the warp gate on the
Yay.
back. So
Go
the
grab
new
one of
PSU T-shirts
PlanetSide 2 shirts as well.
going out to somebody, and 5 more follows.
Actually, it's going to be a PlanetSide 2 T-shirt, not that one that
Oh,
you
it
guys
is?
just saw.
Ah,
But Higby and them will be getting them.
Higby and the
Yes.
team will be having one of those shirts. Actually, that one right there could actually be his. It may be Higby's. You never know.
yeah.
But we are sending out a bunch of shirts to the dev team, so they can rock some PSU swag.
Yes.
I could always use some free shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. I like it.
They don't have any
Shirts.
shirts anymore?
I'm a wolf. I don't wear shirts.
All right, and here is the PlanetSide 2 shirt, the PlanetSide 2 logo, and then on the back is Jen gets it there. The word PlanetSide 2. Good
But-
stuff.
Yeah, so those shirts, the ones you just saw, will. As I'm sitting here, we just picked up 3 followers. Looks like we probably hit 1,000. Hold on, let's go ahead and refresh the page.
Do we? Drum roll.
The Twitter follower list doesn't update right away, so I have no idea. Anticlimactic. It looks like
Yep.
we're pretty close, though. I'm looking on my phone here, and we just picked up a bunch of followers. You can see right there. We just picked up a whole bunch of. Oh, no focus. No.
No autofocus. We
Well,
turned it
you'll
off.
have to take my word for it that
Right.
we just picked up a bunch of followers just by saying that. So we probably hit 1,000.
It's been a while since you
Yes.
introduced that not promotion, but the Twitter thing.
Yeah, we had mentioned it on one of the last couple shows.
Yes. So congratulations to whoever that may be, but it looks like yes, we finally got there. So thanks to all you guys for taking the time and following us.
How
out
many
there
shirts?
On Twitter.
Is it just one that we're giving out?
Do we say 1 or
2?
2. Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't get one.
It's
I
a
get
random
the
draw.
taxes.
It's
That's right.
it's totally random. The only people not
Yeah,
eligible
it's
for
random.
it, the only people not eligible for it on the list will be PSU staff and devs.
Right.
Because
But-
they already have them.
Well, that too.
Exactly.
That too. Yeah.
That is actually true.
Yeah. But that way we thought it would be fair. That would we wouldn't just make it the 1,000th person. Everybody that has followed us would have just as equal
Yep.
chance.
We broke
Yeah.
1,000.
All right.
1,002.
Yay! Nice.
All right, awesome.
Yeah.
That was painful. It took so long, people.
Yes. Yes.
So
I was holding my breath.
any more topics, Hamma, to discuss? We still
Yeah,
have
the
some
comics.
Yeah.
Didn't we derail?
Yeah, we did a little bit here.
time. Yeah, that's okay though.
Well, we were ta-
Twitter?
we were talking about Twitter Command. And
Yes, we were talking
we
about
ended up on
commanders and
Twitter
stuff.
itself.
I think probably one of the only other things that I saw a lot of people focus on when watching the video was, boy, everybody misses those exit and entry and exit animations on the vehicles. I mean, not a big deal, but, you know, it's just something I guess we've all just kind of loved, and seeing everybody just kind of pop into the vehicle there, we miss it.
Yeah.
We just miss it.
At least right now, Higby says that you need to be like near the cockpit of the Reaver to get inside. And you saw that in the GDC video. He had to use his jump jets to jump on top of it and
Right.
get to the cockpit.
I want them back.
Yeah, it was just something kind of cool.
Just a step backwards not having them. And they were awesome. I want them back.
Yeah, for their time to just see that guy climbing into that tank and climbing into that aircraft. It was just kind of neat. I realize it's kind of a frivolous type of thing, but
I think it was more for the game pace.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I think they did it, but
Yeah, I loved watching my guy climb in and climb out of a Marauder.
I did too.
Doing that forward flip out of the NCBFR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did some
on
clever
the,
stuff with that too.
I'm pretty sure we actually covered vehicle animations on another GDC.
Yes, we did. We've talked about it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at the forums and I'm seeing that the one of the threads that has been prominent as of late is the end game thread about how things are going to end out. I know persistence and how things. I know the major complaint before BFRs came out was that people are just doing the same thing over and over and over, and it has a lot of repetition.
Yeah, so we've got 20 minutes left to the show. I just want to make sure that this is the topic that you guys want to talk about for sure, because there's no question it's going to take the rest of the show if we talk about it.
Yeah.
It's like this or nighttime.
Yeah, let's talk about this. I think this is one of those ones that's just a total. It's a contentious.
Subject,
the right word.
Yeah.
Topic for the on the forums all the time and in discussions. So.
Higby said, guys, honestly, doing vehicle animations would probably add 6 months to the project.
No, okay.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah. No, it's not worth that.
Plan.
Okay, so let's go to nights then.
No, let's let's talk about end game stuff. In particular, that thread that we've had going on recently. So, what do you got? What's your guys' thought on kind of what Higby mentioned in the thread, and just in general on end game in a game like PlanetSide?
I don't think it applies in PlanetSide too. End game starts when you create your character.
Yeah, that is the old adage. But he was definitely talking also about like adding tournaments and various other things for adding more to the game so it lasted longer. And because I think they want to create a sort of a meta game to allow the game to have more depth than the already amount of freedom and depth it's already going to have. But the end game, in a way that like what happens once you max out your character or max out, find out what you find, or getting tired fighting on the same materials, and how do you spice that up? I think is basically how do you fight repetition, because in 5 years down the road we'll have done a lot.
Other thoughts?
That is true. I remember when Higby brought up about the idea of tournaments and stuff. I really like the idea of having like some kind of an esport within PlanetSide too. I would definitely be interested in that and playing a game on like a very serious competitive level. But a lot of people have some pretty good arguments against it, such as like taking away players from the core gameplay.
I mean, I've always mentioned on the forums that I don't think it's a bad idea for them to build in an area where they can have events at. Just simply because of the fact that they had events in PlanetSide 1 and they never had an area to do it in. Obviously, they put people in Old Osher. That was kind of their solution to the problem. But it would be nice if they had built in some type of area to do that type of stuff. I'm against any type of end game because I've had enough of end game. Like, really? I've had enough of it.
Yeah.
In MMORPGs, it's like end game. It's like, all right, we're gonna level and we're gonna get to end game, and then we're gonna be done. There's nothing else left to do except for do the same thing over and over and over again.
It just makes me nervous because I don't want PlanetSide to ever end. So
right, and I think that weekend events or something like that is kind of a good compromise. Not necessarily where somebody wins, but where they just have different types of. I guess win conditions, sort of, on like a small scale, where the winning empire gets some type of reward for it, but not anything that's.
I threw up several different ideas, like in the forums. I know we glossed over because of a gigantic freaking long post, and I apologize for that. But one of the ideas in there was to have a base randomly go neutral, like someplace that all three empires can easily access, and whoever captured that chunk of territory would gain a massive amount of resources. It'd basically a neutral base that gives a lot of resources. If you capture it, and its capture timer will be longer than normal.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's certainly a good idea.
yeah, they could definitely like throw in dynamic events. I feel like that would help kind of like spice up things.
Yeah, because I think the basic complaint is, you play the game, and after a while it's there's great battles, and you have a great time, and it's your experience is different each time, but after a while, somewhat, it just becomes the same rinse and repeat, and you just kind of need something to work towards, so that it doesn't seem like you're just kind of going through the same meat grinder.
I personally want like a fireworks show. If it's TR, you get all like red fireworks. Sorry.
Well, I just want fireworks when I log in. If that could be done, that'd be awesome.
Oh, sorry. I like
fireworks.
fireworks.
Like the Super Mario fireworks, where you manage to take the base under a certain amount of time. You get little puffs in the air.
And extra points.
Little flag goes up too.
Yes, the flag.
Well, actual endgame, actual winning conditions in the big war are impossible, really. Because
there can't.
what everyone forgets, if someone wins, someone has to lose. And losing sucks.
Right.
So don't lose, win.
What could actually be done to spice up the thing besides the usual events?
Right.
I don't think there's anything.
No, I threw in a suggestion, like for if we're gonna do tournaments, I would like take a lesson from like the tabletop stuff and actually because we have resources now. I'd actually have it limited by players and amount of resources if you're going to do tournaments. That would allow for a massive metagame to be developed, which actually would sustain PS a lot longer and longer. Because if you want to have long-term success, I'm looking like at StarCraft and how long that game has lasted in the tournament scene. I think it's been there for freaking forever, and it's because it's a really strong metagame and it constantly evolves and changes.
Right, and the other thing to remember is PlanetSide has a lot of things to do. I mean, that I would probably give some like idea of what to do is try different things. Be a galaxy pilot some other time, or try infiltrator. Like that those are kind of things that can help make a game longer, give you things to do.
Well, haven't they planned from the beginning to have, the game to roll stuff? I mean, they, from the very beginning, they've been mentioning a vision to go out for years, right? Now, they haven't specified what that may be, but from the beginning, they've been hyping up the fact that their vision is long term. It's 3 to 5 years down the road. So, honestly, I'm not too worried about that because I know that they've got a plan for that. So that they're, like everybody's saying, there is no end game to this type of game. I'm tired of that as well. This isn't something like your normal MMORPG. It's not an MMORPG. It's a FPS. So it's a constant battle. Granted, that does get tiresome. Mars made the point there, but I think that they've got some plans to spruce it up a little bit, to keep the spice in it, to keep us wanting to do more and to accomplish more. I mean, I don't know what that is yet, but I'm sure that they'll elaborate more as it goes out.
Yes,
Right.
seeing as how it's a free-to-play game, if they want to continue to get money, they're going to have to add more stuff, because otherwise people will just stop playing. So
Right.
they're going to have to add things.
Well, the esports stuff Pigby just mentioned in ISC is something quite useful, because think about outfit wars. Everyone enjoyed outfit wars. Having outfit wars every once in a while, not regularly, but like once a year, against all those outfits on the server, and maybe even all those outfits from other servers, like a big fucking tournament to find the best outfit in the world, not just on your server, would clearly spice up the game for a large portion of the player base. Like everyone an outfit.
Right, I think if you put tournaments like within PlanetSide 2 and kind of really pushed it, like made it like it was like the Olympics of Auraxis or something in a way, but like just made it such a big deal, I think it would be really cool, especially like when you have like recognizable players go into the battlefield. People are going fighting a base and you're like, oh, I recognize that guy, he's really good, I remember seeing him, stuff like that. But I forgot what else I was gonna say.
It's actually a quite good thing. I mean, think about StarCraft 2 or whatever. You have those amazing players who do amazing things, but you know you're never going to play with them or against them. And PlanetSide 2, you could have those amazing outfit guys who just won the fucking outfit tournament, be the most important guys in the galaxy, and you see them right next to you on the battlefield.
Right, like that's gotta be like really cool feeling, especially if you like look up to them or you're a fan of them and watch their stream and stuff.
That's actually quite good. I like that. Yeah, take me. Let's have big outfit tournament.
Well, that's another popularity contest. I don't like that.
Hammer.
It's not really a popularity
I was
contest,
just kidding.
it's
I was
who can
trolling.
murder each other best.
I was trolling my own show. Is that
It's
not
like
allowed?
Gladiator.
Ban. No.
Ban. I'll ban myself.
Yeah.
Well,
what
you know,
I
it's like,
was saying earlier.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, what I was trying to say earlier before I forgot, was that they have like this 5-year plan. We know that like it started as a 3-year plan, now it's a 5-year plan. And I think that as long as they keep adding stuff to the game, keeping it interesting, kind of keeping us on our
Right.
toes a little bit, people are going to keep being interested in playing the game, and it's going to be really fun because it's going to be dynamic.
Yeah, and I mean, I think something that we're forgetting about too while we talk about this is that their vision, their overall vision, is for a sandbox type game, and there's a lot of different opportunities in there to make this a sandbox type of game. Things that we're not even thinking about. If you think about a game like Eve, for example, there's so many different things to do in that game. Your head would just explode if you thought about doing them all. So I mean, that's certainly a possibility for that type of stuff to start showing up in PlanetSide too. So I think that'll be a big part of. Not necessarily end game, but just keeping it interesting.
And plus, with the original PlanetSide, we were basically we're fighting over these same bases, basically working over the same territory. I mean, it's pretty limited as far as where the battle's going to be. It's going to be on this bridge. It's going to be over this base, and at least with the terrain that they've got here now, that you're going to be capturing outposts. It's going to be a little bit more varied. So I don't think it's going to be quite so easy to fall into that rinse and repeat type cycle that we got into with PlanetSide, where it's like, oh geez, we're over on Sisor again, fighting on the bridge.
Right.
Yeah, it got to be kind of predictable there, and I think they've done a lot to increase the dynamics of the game, where you're going to be fighting over a lot more of the of the land mass, and it's going to keep things varied and interested in that respect.
What was that continent? What was that continent with the really big bridge? I know it was snow.
Surgeon.
Surgeon, yeah.
Surgeon.
Yeah, and
That bridge.
And you and well, I just forgot what I was
Hours
going
and
to
hours.
say. I hate when that happens.
I do that all the time.
Yeah, and I'm gonna. Oh, I don't remember.
It's contagious.
Oh, I know what I was gonna say now. Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna be, hey, capture this base, capture this base, capture this base, capture this base. It's gonna be, there's different pieces to the base that you can capture. Higbee had said that. There's different areas. I mean, the bases are huge compared to the first PlanetSide. Right. If you just look at the scale in those videos of how large the bases are, there's so many more things to do in those bases this time around.
That ebb and flow of that battle going for that base is going to be a lot different than just going in and capturing it and hold. I mean,
it's not an open courtyard. You're not going to get totally raped by the tanks.
Yes.
Right. You're not going to just run in and, I'm going to run down nondescript tunnel number 1 to nondescript tunnel number 2 and fight my way into the spawn room and kill everybody in there. It's going to be, there's going to be more things, more objectives within the base itself that's going to make it a little more varied than the original game was, for sure.
Base capture is going to be a lot more interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's kind of we all think of PlanetSide and, capturing a base and moving to the next, capturing a base and moving to the next, and I don't think we're going to
capturing a tower, an air tower, so you can...
Yeah, and moving to the next air tower or the next, whatever tower. So it's like...
Certainly contributed to the monotony of the original game, so...
There's going to be a lot more things, and you've got the territory system, and so I don't think endgame is even something that we would need, like any type of event like that. I don't even think we would need that for, years. I mean...
We're not going to be as bored as quickly as we were with PlanetSide 1, that's for sure.
I really can't foresee that, considering just...
Well, how long did it take for PlanetSide 1 for everybody to get
long
bored?
time.
It took a long time.
Yeah, and that was just with those basic mechanics, and there wasn't a whole...
Right.
a whole lot to that.
And with all these dynamics, I mean,
Right.
the potential that you're going to be bored right off the bat is, I think, pretty slim. I think you're going to be able to find enough to do, and the gameplay is going to be diverse enough and interesting enough and change enough so that, you're not going to feel like that rinse and repeat cycle is upon you.
On top of that, instead of having caves, which everyone hated, we have actual awesome development, like space battles, naval battles, new continents.
Hey,
Loads
some
of
of us
good
like
stuff.
caves.
Well, the one person that
like
likes
caves?
caves.
Out! Go
Actually,
out here.
in the Twitter feed, there's not Twitter feed.
Paul T. Schwink.
The Twitch feed, quite a few people were asking about caves.
Oh, please no. I don't think we're gonna need them. Actually, to be honest, I just don't
mean-
think we're gonna need them.
They can come back, but without
Yeah.
the bloody zip lines.
I know,
Filled all
right?
the caves with cement. Forget about it.
Right.
Filled up, they're gone.
There you go.
That's a lot of cement.
Yeah, that is a lot of cement, but I'm sure.
Nanites.
Yeah, nanites, exactly. Nanites will make that happen for us.
Mm-hmm.
Full caves with
Well, I think
nanites.
what the caves supplied was the urban environment. I think that's what they kind of tried to do with it. I mean, but
Yeah.
they gave you somewhat of an urban environment where you get into fighting from maybe close quarters combat. I mean, that's kind of what they were looking at. I think maybe in that sense, maybe they stumbled on that. But I wasn't a fan of the caves, and the zip lines were one of it. But I did like the idea that it was a little bit more close quarter combat.
I hated those zip lines. I couldn't figure out how to get around.
Yeah, you could see where you wanted to go. It's like, okay, how do I get there?
Yeah, it seems like people are split into camps. The people who could figure out where the zip lines went and could actually navigate their way around the caves enjoyed them. People who couldn't figure out the zip lines, for the love of God, failed. Personally, I really like what they did with the caves because it was a very different feel to it and how it operated versus the normal gameplay. Like, Anowin itself is one of my favorite just because it is entirely vertical while the rest of the game is horizontal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you're going to get a whole lot more of vertical gameplay and just outside in the regular world in PlanetSide too.
Yeah, this doesn't seem to be anywhere near as flat. I mean,
Yeah.
I definitely, the limited experience that I had in the caves, I pretty much got zipline camp the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen and we've talked about with Higby, the amount of just different variants that you're going to have in this game. I mean, they're going to have the areas that just have all these catwalks, along the side of a mountain or something like that. So there's going to be a whole lot of different vertical gameplay. There's going to be so much different varied base gameplay so that it just, I think we're going to get, and they have a 5-year plan, or it's 5 years. So, add that onto the top of all the different crazy gameplay aspects that we're going to have in PlanetSide 2 right off the bat.
Yeah.
I think Endgame is just something that we don't even need to talk about.
Let's talk about it when we need to talk about it.
Well, yeah. When everybody's bored and there's just nothing
Yeah.
left to do, then there might be a discussion. But I can see why somebody brought it up because it was kind of an issue with PlanetSide 1. But we got to consider all the different ways that this game is going to be different, so that I don't really see that it's going to be quite so much of a problem. I was just thinking about Manitou's comment about talking about urban combat. The base structure that I'm seeing in here, at least as far as watching this video, that seems to me a lot closer to my idea of urban combat than the caves ever were. I like what they've done
Agreed.
with the bases. They really look,
Yeah.
clever, and you get that sense of close combat, and it's not just, this hall, that hall, like Hammer was saying. I mean, you got barrels and different angles and, a vertical play that you can get up and down, and yeah, it looks like base fights are going to be real interesting.
Agreed.
Higby just said, why aren't we talking? Could you see what he just said?
No, I wasn't watching. Sorry.
Cosmical's comment.
Cosmical.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
That was actually...
We're
That-
bringing that up.
That was our final. I was actually just about to go into that, so Higby actually helped us make our segue. That was gonna be
Thanks,
our
Matt.
last topic. We don't have a whole lot of time left, but we did want to talk about it. So what do you guys think of his comics? We had comics back in the day on PlanetSide Universe, and they were very well received, and it looks like folks really like what this guy has to offer.
What I think is, this dude needs to be chained to a chair and draw those comics constantly.
Sounds like a job for the TR.
Those are just awesome, really.
Yeah.
Guy's
I
got some
love,
talent.
Cosmical's
That's pretty
comics.
incredible. he buries some good stuff in there. You see, there's a lot of symbolism within the comics, and he uses some. I mean, it's pretty interesting. If you when you first look at him, you laugh, but then you start seeing things within the comics that he's incorporated them. It's very talented work. I was pretty excited by him.
He's very modest as well. Yeah, he doesn't think that that they're that good or whatever. And occasionally he'll spell something wrong, and so everybody will be like, "Oh, you spelled this wrong," and then that probably puts him down a little bit. But I agree. They're just like Manny said. There's a lot in there. There's a lot more than just what you're reading. I think they're awesome. It's good to have somebody like that in the community that can draw things like that, and just kind of it's a nice form of entertainment, while we're waiting, and even after release there'll be even more funny things that he can make comics about after release. I mean, you can imagine some of the bugs we'll probably see that'll make it in the final game. I know Higby doesn't want to see bugs make it in the final game, but they always do.
Right. Oh yes.
And there'll be good jokes about that. What was that? There's that one bug that somebody took a screenshot of where the guy's waist was all twisted up. Did anybody see that?
Yeah.
He was twisted up, and that was just looked weird. Hopefully they get that one fixed. But I mean,
stopped eating for his beta debut.
Yeah, right.
Right. So I mean, it's stuff like that, and
I mean, the man's got game developers hanging his comics on the wall there at the developer studio. So
yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, you just can't go wrong with that. And,
that's right.
And they're very well done, and I try and get the word out there about him whenever he does one, so that he gets some more exposure and comments and feedback on him, so that maybe he'll make it a regular feature of some kind. So
those of you out there listening, if you see his comics and you like what he's doing, jump in, make a comment, let him know.
Follow him on Twitter.
Follow him on Twitter. Encourage him.
Yeah, and encourage him to make it a feature of PSU. I have extended the offer to him, so be sure to encourage him about that as well. Spam his Twitter account.
You should definitely do it. I was just about to say it. This guy needs like his own site or his own section on PlanetSide Universe.
Oh, we would love
so
to.
we can see his comics in like one place and find them easily.
Yeah, but we want to so badly. We're just waiting for him to actually say, "Hey, you can represent me."
And we already have the feature written. We used it back in the day, so it's just a matter of plugging in new comics to it. So we definitely would love to have him to be a part of it, and
we think he'd be a tremendous asset.
Yeah, and he would give we would give him some awesome exposure to those, and he would get a whole lot more viewership on him. We would post him on the front page whenever he does a new one or whatever. So
if you're listening or will be listening, you're awesome.
Yes, comical, great. Thumbs up, man.
Higby wants to say his Twitter feed name out on chat on AGN.
Oh.
Is anyone willing to do that?
Is that what he's trying to get me to say?
It's at SHIT _PETE.
Shit. Underscore.
Oh, Basti, come on, really?
Yeah. Whatever.
You can't say that on air.
Yeah, right. Beep. No.
I don't think the FCC governs this.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
Although Twitch TV, incoming. Although Twitch TV does kind of, you're supposed to check off a little box if you have mature content.
This is true.
I never checked that box off.
It's not. This isn't mature. There's a book about it.
That's
Everyone
true.
knows about it.
That's true. Oh, looks
But anyways,
like
you guys are TR. I'm TR. Let's just go oppress him and force him to do that stuff.
Well, let's just go tell him what he needs to do. Forget this campaigning stuff.
Do it the TR way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can follow him on Twitter now, and definitely encourage him to.
Yeah, he does some good stuff. He really does.
I'm looking forward to seeing what else he has, and it'll be. I think it'll be an awesome fixture of the community for a long time to come.
All right.
I think we're at the end of the conversation at night.
Yeah, we're right around 2 hours runtime, which is what our goal was. So do you guys have any closing comments? Anything?
I'm
Bueller?
tired.
Basti, come on, somebody.
Come on, Basti, you must have something to say.
Really bad.
Well, you can get up and leave. You don't have a camera on you. You get the bonus. I can't get.
Graywolves, just lift your hind leg.
I can't get up and walk
Mark a
away.
tree or something.
If you love it, you gotta pee on it.
Mark your territory.
No one got that.
And
I
I
had a
think
closing comment that I wanted to see. From all of this, if you guys notice what's going on here, this is great conversation, great feedback back and forth. We're able to discuss this well, and this bodes well for the game and the game community. Understand, I've come out of gaming communities that absolutely suck. I mean, they sucked and it actually ruined the game for me. So this community, as well as the devs are included in this community because they're obviously part of the game, is actually gonna seems very healthy. So it's good for me. So it bodes well for the game itself. Obviously, you're gonna have your peculiar groups, and I could name a few, but I won't. That will tend to give you something to speak ill of the game. But yeah, I think so far what we're seeing in the game is we're seeing a lot of confidence in the devs. The devs have really done a great job in communicating with us and helping to strengthen this community and bring it together. Because they've given us stuff to talk about. And I'm telling you, there's just nothing like that. Because you guys out in the games, out in other game areas, you don't find this kind of dev interaction. That doesn't happen.
No, this is definitely unique.
Oh yeah, so I'm hats off to the devs, but also to the rest of the community for being receptive and not trolling everything they say or do that you don't agree with. We discuss it, we talk about it, we may not agree with it, but we're able to come in and talk about it. So it's cool, man. Hats off to the whole thing. I'm really excited about this game.
Hey, the PlanetSide community is the best darn community out there.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Easily. Yeah. And I mean, I hope that these are beneficial for the devs as well, listening to us kind of talk and hear out some of these things. I think it probably is, but I definitely hope it is beneficial. And anytime they have something that they want us to talk about, all they got to do is tell me, and we'll make sure we get it on the agenda for whatever show that's coming up. So.
Oh yeah, they can definitely solicit feedback from us anytime.
I mean, we're here for them to help them if they've got an idea for a feature that they want to bounce around or something like that. I mean, we can do that on the air and bring some folks on and just kind of talk about it. Right. And we get lots of feedback on it, and people watch the recording later. We get more feedback on it. So. All around, it's great, and I'm looking forward to the game coming out and being able to kind of delve into some more of the features that we used to do back in the day on the AGN. So I think that there's way more opportunity this time around than there was last time, and it's kind of makes my brain hurt.
Yeah, it's almost overwhelming, but it's a lot of fun. And we're excited to see all the people that are just so enthused about this game, and thanks to you guys, the community, for just being fantastic. As Manitou said, this is the best darn community that's I've ever been involved with.
Yeah, for sure.
And we can't thank the devs for enough, because I mean they've jumped right into the middle of it. I mean all of them, from artists to producers to community directors to the director, all of it. Everybody is come out and involve themselves with the community, and it's fantastic. And we as the community appreciate it, and we hope that the devs realize how much we appreciate it and get some benefit out of their interaction with us.
For sure, definitely. All right, guys. So those of you on TeamSpeak right now, I'm going to go ahead and cut you off.
Thanks for being with us again,
for lack of a better term. But thank you for participating yet again. I know we get a lot of the usual faces, but you guys are great for conversation, and we always have a blast.
You guys are awesome.
And if you ever want to participate in the future on the AGN, when we put the word out there that we've got something going on, be sure to send myself or Marsman a PM, so that we make sure that we get you on the air. I know I don't get everybody, and that's just simply because we can't have too many people in the channel. It would be just bedlam.
But yeah, definitely if you're interested, give us a note, and we'll try to get you on. So, as Hammer takes care of that.
And it has been taken care of.
All right.
But I just wanted to, what was I going to touch on?
Probably the maybe announcement about the upcoming maintenance tonight.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We're going to have a site maintenance tonight coming up right after the show, and that has been postponed until next week right now. So we will keep you guys updated as to when that's coming. Yeah. We're migrating to another server, and ran into some hiccups. So, but that will not be happening tonight, so continue posting. We'll have the recording of the show up probably tomorrow, I would say. I'll start the upload tonight. YouTube tends to take its time when you're uploading things, so we've got the 2-hour show to upload, so that'll take a while.
Yeah, but good show and good stuff this month. And
as always, shout out to Hannah's mom. She's always listening and supporting.
Yes. Hi, Mom.
Yep.
Hey.
Shout out to Matt when we know he's been here.
Yeah, my mom always watches the show.
And shout out to any of the other PS developers, anybody that's watching. Thanks for tuning in. I know
For
Perfect Storm says she was always watches and never misses an AGN, so shout out to her.
Yep, for sure. And actually, special shout out to her, because she was all those game trailer videos. I don't know if anybody noticed, but that was her playing.
Yeah.
So she distributed some ownage on those videos.
Definitely.
So shout out to her. But Yeah, so I don't think I have anything else. The last couple topics that I was going to talk about, we hit the Twitter follower number, so I don't need to talk about that anymore.
Right,
We hit
yeah.
1,000, so we'll start moving on that in the next couple days.
I
And
guess keep your eye out in your
Yep.
inbox on the forums.
Right.
well, actually, no. If you win, I'm going to send you a direct message on Twitter, and then if you confirm, we'll go ahead and make sure we get a shirt to you, and we'll probably announce your name for the entire world to see, so that they knew who to hound for a PlanetSide 2 T-shirt,
That's
because I
right.
won't have any more left after that.
Oh,
It was the last 2.
Wow.
So,
yeah,
well,
so-
we actually shouldn't say that. PSU as a whole has a few more T-shirts left, but I don't physically have them in my
the last 2 that you have anyway,
in my possession. We'll probably be giving out more in the future for things like wiki edits and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
you guys
hopefully we
can,
get a little more swag that we'd be
Yeah.
able to hand out. So
you guys keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
So
Maybe even a new PlanetSide Universe T-shirt we'll hand out.
yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah, we get some of those.
Right,
So,
so-
you can be awesome, walk around with a PSU T-shirt.
yeah,
Yeah, because I know I'm awesome when I walk around with one.
I certainly feel awesome. I got one now. So
I'm
all
sure
right.
Manny feels awesome as well.
Yeah, I'm waiting for somebody to come up when I'm wearing one out, just walking around someplace, say, hey, I know that. I'm waiting for somebody to come up and do that.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I haven't had that yet. I'm waiting for that to happen. I work at a hosting company, so I'm surprised that nobody has come up to me yet. We're full of geeks and nerds, so I would expect somebody to walk up to me and say something.
Happened to me once during my rookie class.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, so,
awesome. That's
yeah.
true. Actually, I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it has happened.
It has.
So love to see more of that happening, though.
Absolutely.
I'm sure as things get more popular, people will probably start to recognize it.
Yes,
so.
and with those forum numbers and the website numbers, yeah, it looks
Yes.
like it is. So
For sure.
yep, tell your friends, tell them about PlanetSide, tell them about
Mhm.
PlanetSide Universe, tell them about AGN, and get them to participate and
For sure.
and catch up on what's going on.
Yep. All right, so we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. But thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. We had a great showing, a lot of viewers, and we had a great conversation, and many devs participating through IRC as well. So thanks for tuning in tonight,
Absolutely.
and we will see you again next month. We'll announce a date probably in the beginning. We'll probably start doing them the first week of every month. Unless something special comes along like GDC, then we'll move our schedule
Right.
around. But until next time, we will catch you guys on the next show, and thanks for tuning in tonight.
Right.
Good night.
Good night.
Night, everyone.
See you.
And I forgot to close it. Bye, guys.